So this is part two of the Simone Campbell Collymore case, and if you haven't been caught up, Simone was ultimately killed while going to get her children from her husband's house since they were separated at the time. She was pounced upon by gunmen who shot and killed her and her taxi driver during that time. So now we're heading into part two where I'll be talking about the investigation and some of the outcomes for the case. As the investigation continued, two other men were arrested in custody. One of these men being Wade Blackwood, a 21-year-old laborer at the time. During the investigation, he laid it out all for the police. He told the police that the day before the murder, he was chatting with two men he's friends with, and they told him that they were about to commit a murder and asked if he wanted to join in. He stated he initially declined to join the men, however, they were not fond of this response. He went on to say after going their separate ways, the men then called him again and threatened him and told him he had a brother who had unpaid dues with certain people and he should be careful to go against them or else, which basically means if he didn't do what they wanted, they would put a stop to him or kill him. So he had to be careful. On the day of the murder, the men came to visit him on two motorbikes, and he stated with no other choice he hopped on one of them and they drove off to the foot of Friedels St. Andrew. They stopped, purchased gas, and then one of the men made a phone call. He then turned to them and said that the car Simone was traveling in was headed their way. After this, two other men joined the group of already three men, making this five of them in total. They then drove behind Walter's vehicle, following him for a while. Blackwood stated that one of the men then came off the bike and started shooting at the driver's side of the car, and he then started firing at the passenger side. He said he could hear Simone screaming as the windows around her started shattering. They stole their purse as well as they wanted to make this look like a robbery. Once this was done, they all hopped on their bikes and rode away. He said he gave the murder weapon back to his friend and then burned the clothes he was wearing. Blackwood stated they were paid around 500,000 Jamaican dollars for the killing. Police were now on the hunt for the remaining suspect. After his confession and his day in court in 2021, 24-year-old Wade Blackwood was sentenced to life in prison with a minimum of 35 years before he's eligible for parole. Simone's sister, who was in attendance, said that hearing the killer's confession of her sister's death was traumatizing and will forever remain with her. Walter's partner, Joel, also attended the hearing with her then 14-year-old son. Walter and his wife, they shared three children together before he was killed. Since the police believed this was a contract killing, Walter was basically just at the wrong place at the wrong time. After this, the Fort Lauderdale police now had probable cause to reopen the case of Angela, as they had initially suspected him of her murder, but they had no evidence. One thing was extremely identical. Both women had hefty life insurance policy, with Collymore being the main beneficiary of a large sum of money. Omar had several cases against him in the US, one including stalking and domestic violence, as well as being sued by another woman. Omar Collymore was then arrested in St. Elizabeth, Jamaica, and this arrest came before he was allegedly supposed to flee Jamaica by boat, so he was trying to escape again for the second time. He is set to stand trial February 12, 2024, which is a week away, along with four other co-accused in this case. So apparently there has been some issues going on, him stating he's not able to afford a lawyer, and this has pushed back the case because it's 5 years ago since this happened. That's a very long time ago. So once more information comes to light after his case, I will definitely do an uploaded video to give information because I do believe Simone deserves justice, and I don't think this should have happened to her, especially from someone she had, trusted. And now she has two kids and they don't have a father or a mother anymore. I do hope her family is, I do hope they have found peace with what had happened to Simone, even though I know it probably will never happen because I did lost my brother to violence, gun violence at that in Jamaica. So I do know it's very hard finding peace. And even when you think you have found peace, there is always that one thing that happens where it's like all the memories just keep flooding right back to you. But, anyways, I will keep you guys posted on this case, and I'll try to do another video once information comes to light.